welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading, or pick a pile, pick a crystal, because that's what we're doing, pick a rock. But this is going to be for what you are aligning with in 2026. So this is actually probably going to take the upload spot of a different video. Otherwise I'll just like upload twice in a row, because I'm already have videos scheduled all the way through January. So but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different because I am using my largest crystals and rocks and things, but yeah, they're gonna be, yeah, anyway, let me get into, I think it's actually this way, let me get into the pile choosing. So again, this is going to be a little bit different just because of how large they are. So I'm just going to hold them up, and I don't know if I'm going to have a shot of all three of them together. But pile number 1 is going to be this crystal. I'm going to hold it still for a minute. This crystal. Okay, which coincides with this deck. Okay, that's pile number 1. Pile number 2 is going to be this crystal. This giant hunk of rose quartz right here. It's actually like pretty heavy, and that coincides with this deck, the Golden Girls Tarot. Try not to damage anything. And then last but not least, we have pile number 3, which is this rock, which I painted when I was like 5, and I've had it ever since. This is Matthew. That's their name is Matthew. And Matthew coincides with this deck, the Fountain Tarot. Okay, I may or may not insert a pick, but those are all 3 piles, or crystals, I guess. And yeah, okay. If you chose pile 1, this is your reading. That is the obsidian. 333 on the recording, because I meant to do like a pause, like a little break in between the intro and this video, and I didn't do that, and I'm not much of an editor, so yeah. Alright, what blessings are they aligning with in 2026? What things are they aligning with 2026. That's a fuck ton of cards. Okay. In 2026, you are moving away from old toxic habits, overthinking, cycles of overthinking, doubting yourself, being attached to, I'm hearing you have an unnatural alliance to losers, and it's unlike you. Like you're detaching yourself from people, places, and things that do not serve you, that no longer serve you. Things that kept you feeling mentally stuck, things that kept you physically stuck and trapped. You're finally moving away from anything that's just like doesn't bring you peace. Anything that doesn't bring you peace, you're walking away from. You're not staying. You're walking away from the pain. You're walking away from pain. Alright. And you are aligning with a new version of you. You're getting clear on what it is that you want. You're more in tune with your intuition now, like more than ever. And you're getting very clear about what it is that you want and where it is that you're going. You're aligning yourself with more opportunities. I'm hearing not only in like business or like creative projects, but also in love as well. This is bringing in a connection, an offer here. The alignment that you're doing is bringing in some sort of emotional offer. You are emotionally aligning yourself. So you're kind of caring for yourself, reparenting yourself. I've been doing a lot of reading about this recently, but reparenting yourself, caring for yourself, becoming your own stability. Maybe in the past you weren't that for yourself, and now you're becoming the person that, I'm hearing Olivia Dean, the man I need. Like you're becoming the man that you need, right? You're doing that on your own, and you're very clear on your vision. And by being so clear and by becoming the man that you need, you're actually attracting the man that you want, or the person that you want. I don't care if it's a man or not. It's feeling more like a masculine energy. But yeah, by being in your own, like you're maturing emotionally. You're no longer letting your emotions kind of dictate what you're doing in life, where you're going in life. Instead, you're kind of managing your emotions and just building your own stability, and letting those emotional offers, instead of letting your emotions like push you to make offers and do all these crazy things, you're letting your emotional openness and your emotional I'm hearing preparedness, but just like the emotional leveling that you're doing, you're letting that invite in opportunities instead of you chasing opportunities. So you're moving very much so from like a chasing energy. You're leaving that like cycles that perpetuated that chasing energy for yourself, and moving into cycles where you're just kind of in a mode of receiving. I'm seeing the Empress in my mind's eye. Moving away from cycles, people, things that didn't offer you any sort of growth, any sort of newness. Like this may have been like relationships that you were in or jobs that you were in that just didn't, like, that kind of just like strangled your roots. Like it didn't give you room to grow. It was like you're a plant and you're outgrowing the pot that you're put in, and instead of the people and things around you lifting you up and helping you repot yourself, or like you're like chasing this repotting because it's supposed to just like come to you, and the people, places, and things that you have in your life don't allow for any sort of repotting. They're like, once you're here, you're here. And so you're moving away from stuff like that and helping yourself grow and nourishing yourself, because you put yourself in a position where you had to rely on other people to do the repotting for you, or to allow you to do the repotting. And now you're just like, I'm never going to be in a situation like that again. Like, I'm going to always make sure that I have the tools that I need to replant myself elsewhere. This could be, somebody could be anticipating a move or have just moved at the time of this reading, like beginning of January, potentially moving, like beginning of the year. Yeah, I'm seeing like a physical move here. I'm getting like a physical move. Yeah, you're ending cycles of self-sabotage. You're ending cycles of self-sabotage. Really, honestly, now you're just like, I just need to get in touch with my energy. I need to be able to fill my own cup. You're really working on creating a community for yourself, but also a community within yourself. So like, kind of looking at all the different aspects of yourself and kind of sizing them up and saying, like, you know, this is your strength. I have strengths in this area. I have strengths in this area. Here are my weaknesses. Here's what I want to work on. And you're no longer just sitting in cycles of just like complacency and self-sabotage. Whatever ended here for you, and whatever ended here for you is kind of balancing out the scales here. We have the Seven of Swords, death and justice. Again, these cycles of self-sabotage ending it was meant to happen. It was meant to happen the way it happened. It was meant to happen now. It was meant to balance the scales for you. You're receiving like a backlog of karma. So like, where you may have thought that you were in the worst positions possible and all of this stuff, like, and you're like, man, I just have the worst karma. Your guides are saying that you're about to receive a backlog of karma that you were keeping from yourself, that you were hiding from yourself, you know, perpetually putting yourself in these cycles of disillusionment and again, self-sabotage. You're going to really be in a season of like getting to know yourself, and then the more of a connection that you build with yourself, again, that invites new connections in. But also I'm hearing like, you know, you go out and you explore new hobbies and you meet people in that way, or, you know, you're taking yourself on more solo dates, and opportunities kind of find you while you're kind of just by yourself. Like, I'm seeing like somebody sitting in a coffee shop, reading a book, or working in a coffee shop, kind of have their headphones in, keeping to themselves, and someone just approaches them. Like, you're coming across more opportunities just by dating yourself and being there for yourself. You're kind of, and Spirit says like you're bringing in all of these new opportunities just by existing, and no longer hiding who you are, but also like no longer relying on other people to kind of show you who you are or show you what you deserve. Like, you're kind of giving that to yourself now, and that's what's getting you unstuck, and that's what's allowing you to receive this backlog of good karma. The Spirit's saying like good things have always been meant to happen to you, but you've kind of just locked into this timeline of negativity, and like how you're like, man, I can't manifest shit, like nothing ever good happens for me. And it was just like you were around the wrong people, you were in the wrong environments. And Spirit's like, now that you decided to remove yourself from those situations, I can finally step in and we can co-create together. Yeah. You're starting to get very clear on what your dreams are, on what your goals are, and you're actively putting in effort to manifest these things. I'm seeing a lot of inner child healing here, a lot of getting in touch with your inner child. I'm seeing like somebody going to do pottery, if that's been something that, you know, like a hobby that you've wanted to pick up. I'm seeing somebody like having picnics in the park by themselves. Somebody, like a lot of creative endeavors is what I'm seeing here. But it's just like you're kind of like whatever kind of feels good and what comes out for you, like you're kind of taking stock of those things and then actually putting in the effort to make them happen. I'm hearing that it's not like delusions of grandeur. Like if you're wanting to paint and learn how to paint, you might buy yourself a cheap little canvas and a cheap little set of, I'm seeing from the Dollar Tree, like a cheap little set of 444 on the timer when I said that, by the way. Like a cheap little set of 1, 2, 3 also might be significant, like alignment. What are you aligning with? And then 555 as well. Sorry, I got sidetracked, but you might go to the dollar store and you might get yourself a cheap little canvas or a few little canvases and some cheap paints just to try it out. Like it's not going overboard, but it's like you're doing just enough that it is manifesting that thing. And so you're trying it out in a safe and responsible way and then moving forward. Like I'm seeing specifically like for the pottery, like there's a class in town or a workshop in town, and it's not something that you're committing to 100%, but you can try it out for X amount of dollars and it's cheap, it's affordable, it's something that works for you. Like it's something that you try to work into your schedule. Like I'm just saying, like it's not always the most glamorous thing, but you're making it work and you're working it into your schedule, and that's kind of, and you're working it into your life and in a very grounded way. And that's kind of what's making you this kind of master manifester, is like you're not trying to do too much right away. It's like if you have an interest in like pursuing a music, like again, it's very creative, like you're in a very creative energy. I do think we pulled the Queen of, did we pull that? I don't know why I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. I think it might have been in a similar reading that I did earlier, but I pulled the Queen of Pentacles for TikTok. But I pulled the Queen of Pentacles. I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles here, like in a very nurturing kind of aspect, but also like it's giving very creative with the Magician here as well, and the Six of Cups. Like it's giving like imagination, like the SpongeBob little thing. But yeah, you're like oh, if you're interested in trying out like a instrument or something like that, instead of going to, you know, a store and buying something brand new that costs you hundreds of dollars, you might do an instrument rental. You might find something on Facebook Marketplace like for cheap. Sewing as well, like find a used sewing machine and instead of spending hundreds on a new one. I feel like I'm just giving you ideas, but this is like actually like what's coming into my head. Second hand 2:32 on the clock, but like second hand sort of like bookstores and coffee, like, you know what I mean? Like just stuff like that, like finding whatever feels good. I think I've talked about this before, but I got that specific little slogan from Adrienne Louise. She does yoga videos on TikTok, like just like going online and using the internet as a resource instead of having to purchase, you know, all of these new things. Like you're doing it in a very grounded way, but you're expanding yourself and allowing yourself to be creative at the same time that you're being very grounded. Because at the same time that you're trying to expand yourself and expand your wealth of knowledge, you're also trying to expand your physical, like literal wealth, like monetary wealth. And so you're doing things in a very smart, strategic, grounded way, which I feel like maybe you were a bit more impulsive at points in the past. Yeah, you're chasing your dreams here. You're chasing your dreams. You're doing everything to chase your dreams in the most, again, in the most grounded way possible. Yeah, you're looking for long-term fulfillment. You're looking for something that's going to fulfill you long-term. And I'm hearing too, for some of you, oh my god, see, do you see the star in the little, I've never noticed that before. I've looked at this card so many times and I just noticed that the cups are within a little star. Like wish fulfillment, long-term fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. I'm hearing from Spirit here that some of these hobbies that you pick up, say you buy a $2 harmonica, like some of these things are going to end up being what help you build confirmation, but help you build your monetary wealth as well. So yeah, we also have the 9 of Cups here, emotional fulfillment. 9 of Cups, sorry, can't really see that. 9 of Cups. Anything else before I close out this reading for pile 1? I'm hearing slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm also hearing by like, I'm hearing by like summertime, like a significant shift, a significant change. Like there's a foundational change. I'm getting it might have something to do with that 9 of Cups that I pulled earlier, but I'm not getting any like clear answer on it. What can you tell me about this change? What can you tell me about this? Yeah, foundational change. I know this is celebration and it's also what's it called? Like a marriage card, but in this deck it literally looks like the pillars of like a building or a box, like foundational change. What can you tell me about this change happening for them in summertime? I'm hearing like June, like May, June, like end of May, June. Nothing besides this one and this one. Potentially Leo season, because we have the sun here and then we have the strength card, which are both like very much Leo associated cards. Maybe by Leo season something's complete, like this change has actually like unfolded for you, or like I don't know. Yeah, it is potentially, maybe you'll be in your Emperor energy, potentially like an Aries partner. I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to know. I don't think I'm supposed to tell you. But yeah, anyway, pile 1, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please make sure to like it if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment if you feel called to. Other than that, have a great rest of your day. If you chose this lovely crystal, then this is your reading. This is pile 2. I just really like this crystal. I just really wanted to show it off. I also felt drawn to this little carnelian little guy that I have here. So I'm definitely getting the sense of like love, attraction. I'm hearing like Aphrodite, potentially glamour. Maybe some of you are getting into glamour magic. I also heard before I started the reading, I know this is a ship on Stranger Things, but I heard you know what I was thinking is like Mike and Will, but every time I hear Mike and Will, all I think is like Mike Will made it. you know, like the producer tag. Anyway, that's completely unrelated, but Mike and Will is a very popular ship for Stranger Things currently. So I'm getting this might be about love, but we'll see. We'll see. This is also the deck I've been using to pull cards about love as well, so we shall see. Alright. What blessings are his pile 2 aligning with in 2026? What blessings is pile 2 aligning with in 2026? Blessings. The only card that actually flipped up, like face up, so I could see it is the 9 of Wands. And with this one particularly, I get like built up walls and like defensiveness. But I haven't seen any of the other cards, so let's see. Ooh. Okay. We also have the 2 of Swords. Indecision. Like a mental entrapment of your own doing. Oh my god. We have the 9 of Swords here. I'm just flipping these over, like, because again, the only one that actually flipped up right side up so I could see it was the 9 of Wands. But yeah, so the 2 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, this is again anxiety, overthinking, tossing and turning, not able to sleep at night. Is this your energy? Is so Pookie. Strength. Persevering through all of that. Persevering through all of this. This is definitely giving like survival mode. Survival mode. These are not the blessings you're aligning with. No. For sure. This is like an energy that somebody has been existing in. Wow. And then persevering through. Like this is giving like, not to be like morbid and trigger warning, but like some of you, if you like relate to this energy, this might be like energy of like wanting to like self exit, but persevering through that. Times are a-changing, the wheel is turning. Oh my goodness. Something's changing here for you. If this is your energy, something here is definitely changing for you. I split the deck, the Empress. Something is changing. Something's coming in for you. Okay. Spirit, what is coming in for them? Yeah, okay. What is coming into them? Yeah, okay, now we're in some better energy. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry if this was your energy. Seriously, I can't imagine how difficult that must have been. Or is if you're still in it. Okay, we're in a season of dropping the burdens, dropping everything. We are no longer going to be existing in all that swords energy, all that defensive energy. We're finally being able to let go of this survival mode and these kind of like, I'm hearing like looping thoughts, almost like OCD. Some of you could have OCD, but I'm hearing that we're starting to move out of that energy. We're letting go of some of these thoughts swiftly too, with a swiftness. Like once you start to let some of these burdens go, it's like an avalanche. Literally, you see he's running downhill. Like it's literally, it's not going downhill from here, but it's like it's a snowball effect. Like once you drop the one wand, it's a snowball effect of wands just being dropped left, right, and you do gain clarity from this. Some mental clarity. Anyway, let me see what cards fell out for what is coming towards you. Yeah, we're moving away. We're moving away from these rough, bumpy waters. That is this like in your head negative self-talk. This is just like the before energy, the move energy that you're moving away from is just giving me someone who's like really lacking in self-love, like is just kind of drowning in their own self-loathing, but persevering through it, like choosing to continue on even when they don't feel like anything is getting better or ever going to get better, even when they have their walls all the way up, when they're wary, when they're scared. This is somebody who chose to persist regardless. Oh man, I'm not usually like the sappy type, but like this, I'm getting like I have like a surge of like very proud energy, very soft energy, because I understand what it's like to be in a mindset like that where you're like, I don't think I'm going to make it, or I can make it, but you still keep going anyway. I think that's why we have this carnelian, attracting love, being very magnetic, but also the rose quartz, this giant piece of rose quartz. I used to have a rose quartz necklace that I wore all the time with everything, didn't matter what I was wearing, when I was going through a rough time, kind of like that. And I remember one day it just broke and I lost the little piece to it, but it was my favorite necklace. Maybe purchase yourself a little rose quartz jewelry. If you can see here, I am wearing some sort of crystal jewelry. I got it as a gift from somebody. I can't remember what it actually was, but yeah, rose quartz is very beneficial. It's a very much so a self-love stone. You're calling in a lot of love here. A lot of love here. And you're moving away from this energy. So, we have the Magician and the High Priestess, which is a divine pair, a very spiritually divine pair. The High Priestess is like the inner knowing, and the Magician is like the it's like she's the brains and the beauty, and he's the bronze. They're both women in this. You could resonate with like same-sex relationships. You don't have to, but I'm getting, like when I said Mike and Will in the beginning, and then also this is a divine pair, but it's also two women. So do with that what you will, but this is like being very much so in touch with your intuition, and like you might be delving into a part of your life, a season in your life where you're very spiritually in tune and very spiritually in touch. You might, like, it might be some sort of like spiritual practice, religion, something like that kind of pulls you out of this dark night of the soul. But what I see here is after you start this, okay, so you're inviting in some sort of divine pair, but also a divineness within yourself, and recognizing the divine within yourself. Recognizing the divine within yourself and feeling recognized. This is also potentially being recognized by somebody else. It does have to be you first, you know what I mean? Like, you do have to recognize it within yourself first. However, you are going to be seen. You are going to feel seen. You are going to align with somebody. This could even, it doesn't even have to be necessarily love. This could be like a spiritual mentorship or something of that nature. However, I also have the Lovers out here as well. So mind you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana out here, just in the like what is coming towards you, what blessings you're aligning with. And then we have 1 major arcana card out here in your past energy, which is that perseverance, that strength energy. And 5 is a number of change, right? So things are changing for you. Things are looking up. There's also 5 cards in that initial pool. There's also 5 cards in the secondary pool as well. Now we have the Lovers here. So this, like, I'm very much so getting, you're pulling in some sort of soulmate. This doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Like I said, it could be like a spiritual mentorship. It could be like a best friend, but it also could be some sort of of romantic partnership, but this is somebody who's going to see you for you, gonna see the struggles you went through, gonna relate to you on a, maybe not like a shared trauma space, but just kind of see your strength, see your perseverance, see the light within you. And this, because I know it's like you have to see it within yourself, but I think this person kind of helps you see it in yourself, kind of helps you, kind of like helps guide you to your own light, like comes in as some sort of guide to you. Because when you're in an energy as dense, not that you're dense, but the energy is so dense and it's so stuck, and it feels like a forever thing. It feels like a perpetual, like it's perpetual sadness, 3434 on the recording. However, like it feels so never ending, like you're never gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is like somebody who like happens upon the tunnel, right? And then they're like shining a flashlight in there, and they're like, hey, is anybody in there? And like you can hear them, and then you start like moving towards their voice, and then you start to see the light, and then you're like, you know what I mean? Like it's somebody who helps bring you out of the dark, someone who sees you and recognizes you, and you recognize them as well. Again, this could be a best friend, because here it says best friend of the year awards. But yeah, somebody who's going to act as sort of that best friend, potentially a mentor, potentially a lover, but just someone who's very aligned with you, like very much so spiritually, emotionally aligned. And it's going to bring in a lot of happiness. The sun here talks about happiness. The sun here talks about fulfillment. Also sunflowers, lots of bright yellows, lots of confidence. Again, lots of light. Solar plexus chakra, again, like just confidence. This could be somebody who's also like just like one of those like happy-go-lucky type people that you this is going to be someone who understands what you've been through. They've been through it too, and they been through something similar, and they're going to want to discuss this with you. Lots of major arcana cards out here. However, we have the Eight of Wands and the Hermit. This is someone who has also been through their own dark night of the soul, and they recognize that, and they recognize how uncomfortable and how difficult that sort of thing is to go through. And like they help kind of guide you through it, not in the sense where they can kind of tell you where to go, but again, like with the flashlight, like they shine the flashlight so you can walk through, or they hand you the flashlight so like you can use this tool to kind of navigate. Even though the landscape is different, the tools are the same. It's your own two legs and a flashlight, you know? But this person is going to communicate that to you. They're going to talk to you about this stuff. And that is going to result in some fulfillment within yourself. You know, they're going to help you. They're not going to do the work for you, but they're going to help you get there. And they're going to kind of be by your side as this like guiding force as you come through this ending. It's like, I wrote this thing one time talking about how death isn't the antithesis of life, like people, or of survival. Life is, right? Living, truly living is the antithesis of survival, because once you leave survival mode and you know how to operate and you know how to keep yourself alive, you don't just die. You start being able to truly live once you come out of that survival mode. So what's on the other side of survival isn't death, it's life. And I used to talk about, you know, how in Greek mythology there's kind of like that ferryman who you know, brings them to the underworld, like helps them cross into the underworld for a little bit of money or whatever. I kind of equated that at one point. It's like the ferryman is death. Death is the transition, right? Death is the thing that helps you transition into the next stage. It's not the ending of anything. It's kind of the beginning of something. I'm sorry. I'm saying this because also underneath the deck we have the World, which is an ending. We also have Death, which is an ending, but it's also like a transition into the next stage. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles here, and if we're thinking about Death as that ferryman, Queen of Pentacles paying the ferryman to get to the other side, to get to the new beginning, because the World can be an ending or a beginning, ending and a beginning. And then on the other side of that, because it literally went the Queen of Pentacles, Death, and the World, we have Celebration. And the Queen of Pentacles is taking her little pentacle, paying the little ferryman, which is Death, to get to the other side where there's celebration. This is also a marriage card, and underneath that we have the King of Pentacles. So yeah, like whoever this is I'm getting this is potentially just a good friend, but this good friend, this friendship is going to lead you to great things. Like it could even be like you're marrying them or whatever, like whatever the case is. However, I do think that this, don't put so much of a focus on the romance part of it, although it will be romantic. I'm hearing that song, Everything is Romantic, that sound on TikTok. Love that heavily. But this is just giving like you're going to meet a great friend, a great guide. Death is your friend. Death, you get used to death, right? Death is the transition period. Death is what you know, brings you into the transition, so don't be afraid of that. But yeah, whatever is on the other side of, also, I am not encouraging, like, I'm not talking physical death, 4 on the, it was 40 on the thing, 4 now, but I'm not encouraging self taking out, like, no, like, things will get better for you. You're coming to the other side of it. You're leaving that side behind, and you're not even gonna, like, at some point you're gonna be like, man, like, I can't even believe that at one point my life was like that. Like, you'll be sitting down one day and you'll just kind of like be thinking about it, and you'll just cry, and you'll be like, man, like, how far I've come, how far we've come. But yeah, you're in the process, you're already moving towards it, you've got all of the momentum, it's already happening for you. Just hang in there and keep going. But all right, pile 2, that is all that I have for you. If you liked this, if you enjoyed your reading and liked this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you want, drop a comment if you'd like. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna move on to pile 3. So I've actually already started the pile 3 read. However, I wasn't liking the cards that were coming out. I wasn't liking how I couldn't really move through the energy. It was coming out all sort of convoluted and just like not clear at all. So I decided to restart the reading. So if you chose this, rock, if you chose Matthew here, then this is your reading. So you were coming out of something that didn't have legs, something that, oh, like, I'm getting it was some sort of, it could have been some sort of connection, but you're coming out of something that didn't have legs. It never really got off the ground, no matter how much effort or time you put into this thing. And I'm getting you put in a lot of effort and a lot of time. You just always felt alone, and you always felt like, I can't get anywhere. Like, this isn't something that's growing. This isn't something that I can build on. And you're moving in to a more harmonious, reciprocal relationship. Like, you're moving away from, you're no longer stuck on anything that isn't going to provide you exactly with what you want. You're moving away from that disappointment and moving on to bigger and better things. So let's see what those bigger and better things are. What is aligning with pile 3 in the year of 2026. You try to be sneaky and slick with that one. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting whatever you left here was some sort of partnership, some sort of relationship. Something that you were in for a while. Something that was kind of traditional. Something more traditional. Something that looked from the, I'm getting it looked from the outside very traditional and standard, but it wasn't. So like if you were the feminine energy, not the woman, but the feminine energy in the relationship, you may have been the breadwinner, the sole provider. You may have been like also the nurturing figure. Like it's giving like queer relationship, like not following gender norms, but like in a bad way, like in a way where it was detrimental. Like what is those like it wasn't a symbiotic relationship, giving parasitic relationship. Like yeah, I'm seeing a mosquito. There was a mosquito. It, mind you, it is fucking September, no, it's December, and it is, I don't know why I said September, but it is December, and it is fall where I'm at, and I saw a mosquito. It's not mosquito season, but I saw a big ass mosquito yesterday. Like something that just kind of like took from you and drained your energy. Like this was not a good energy to be in. This was not a good relationship. Something that you used to be very, very fond of and maybe even look back on sometimes with nostalgia, but then you're like remembering too, like all of the harm and all of the harm it caused you, and all of the ways in which this stunted your growth, all the ways in which you didn't feel loved, all the ways in which you felt taken advantage of. Something that looked very traditional, and something that, you know, people would look at from the outside in and be like, oh, this is fine, like why are you not happy, type of thing. Like I would be so happy if I got that, but what they could, or if I had that, but what they couldn't see was that it was actually your worst nightmare. You're moving into something more reciprocal, a more balanced love life. So if this is somebody who just got divorced from a partner, or because we also have the Four of Wands, which is celebration and marriage, this is someone who left a partnership, left a marriage. You're going to be like, you may even think too, like I'm hearing like, I don't even deserve it, I just got out of something, I don't need something, I don't deserve it, or whatever. Like maybe you felt undeserving in your last relationship, or even like you were taught as a young kid, like you had a underlying like belief, like a core belief that like you don't deserve love, you don't deserve a balanced, reciprocal, happy, nourishing sort of love. And that's kind of how you fell into what traditionally looked very good from the outside, but you fell into something more traditional. Or maybe you weren't in a traditional thing and you want something that's a little bit more traditional. You want something with more traditional like gender roles that would make you happy. Like you want to be a stay-at-home whatever, and whatever the case is, like you fell into something that wasn't, it was exactly what you wanted at the time or thought you deserved at the time, but it wasn't actually a love or anything that kind of like really resonated with you and really nourished you. And now you're coming into a time where you're gonna have a love that's worth celebrating. Maybe you didn't post this person online, maybe you weren't like, maybe you're like someone who's like, oh, I just like my privacy, but really you were just kind of embarrassed of the relationship that you had with this person, and you were like, I don't want to post them because like I'm embarrassed of actually what's going on here. Because again, from the outside it's looking good and everybody's like, oh yeah, like that couple, like their couple goals, but like you're really just like, oh Yeah, and you're like, no, this is actually like my worst fucking nightmare. Like, I hate this. But tell me more about what they're coming into. Yeah, the Two of Cups came out right away. So some sort of partnership, again, very reciprocal. Could be like a high level soulmate, twin flame situationship. It seems like whatever you left was like your karma, and karma in the sense that like you had a wound again where you just felt like you didn't deserve anything better, so you thought you kind of deserved. I saw this card in the pre-shuffle too. You thought that you kind of just deserved to stay in this sort of energy where you just kind of feel alone and drained and tired. The Sun. Feeling alone, drained, and tired, you thought that you didn't deserve happiness, right? But you do. You do. So you're getting, I'm hearing reverse karma. Like, that's interesting. Is because the Sun was on the bottom of the deck, and then I put it back into the deck. And then it came out again. Yeah, you're literally coming upon your happiness, and I'm feeling like this thing is like, oh, I don't deserve it, but it makes you so happy. This person, whoever this is going to kind of come in and to show you like you deserve happiness, like you deserve to receive, like you deserve to have a reciprocal sort of love. Like, that's the energy that I'm getting. Yeah, whatever situation you were in, like, it wasn't giving you what you needed, and you wanted to start over with them. I feel like you did love this person, whoever you were with before, deeply, or you were very like trauma bonded to them at least. But it's like now it's like whatever is coming in for you, this new love that's coming in for you, is like something you've never experienced before, and you might be a little bit hesitant about it. You might be a little bit standoffish when it comes to this thing, or when it comes to this love, or when it comes to this person, and you might be a little bit wary, kind of side-eyeing them, but that's just because you haven't experienced anything like this before, and they will ease that tension pretty quickly, I'm hearing. Oh, for some of you, pretty quickly. Yeah, the energy with them is just going to be fast-paced, free-flowing. I see the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles here, free-flowing. Like, it's going to be quick. Like, you might even end up, again, like I said, like, you were like, man, I just got out of something, like, I shouldn't be in another relationship, you know, I don't deserve to be in another relationship because I haven't healed enough. This person's coming in to help you heal. They're coming in to be with you while you heal. You've done enough healing. You're perfect as is. Like, you deserve this type of love. It's going to be quick. It's going to come in quick, and it, like, you're not even gonna know. Like, I'm hearing like whirlwind romance. Like, it's like I didn't even like plan any of this. We just met and we hit it off, and then all of this just started. Like, we started building together. It was like not even something that we really needed to even, you will discuss it, but it's like it's not even something that we really even needed to think about. It was just, it just happened, you know what I mean? Like, but it happened very intentionally. Like, you guys are very intentional about how you interact with each other. However, it's like 4 however, it's like, because you're building together, you're very intentional about how you interact with each other, but it's like something that almost feels like impulsive even when it's not. It feels compulsive. Like, you feel compelled to be with this person. Like, it's like you couldn't stay away even if you wanted to, because this is your soulmate. This is your person. Literally have the Knight of Wands coming out next. Like, you literally can't ignore the call. I think you're going to try, though. I think you're gonna try, because you're gonna think like, I'm just being, you're gonna think like, this is impulsive, this is crazy, like, we have to plan, we have to do this, like, it has to be this. Like, it could even be like short courtship, quick engagement, like, and people are like, are you pregnant? Like, shotgun wedding, like, what happened? Like, you're crazy. And you could start to like listen to that, or want to like self-sabotage this thing. I'm hearing that this person's not gonna let you self-sabotage and get back into that energy. They're like, nah, you're answering this call, you're answering this call. Like, but I feel like you are gonna try to self-sabotage a little bit, because you're like, I can't even believe that this is happening to me. Like, this just doesn't seem this just doesn't feel real. Like, I feel like I'm being impulsive, I feel like I'm making stupid decisions, when in reality it feels compulsive. But that's because your soul is very drawn to this person, and because you guys, again, that soft magnetism. I don't know if I mentioned that in this one, but I remember in the last one, it's like you're feeling, you're a little bit magnetic, a little bit of soft magnetism. It's like it almost like amplifies when you're in their presence. 1 2 3 4 on the timer there. But it's like when you're away from them, it's like you feel it, and you feel it as that soft magnetism. But then when you're with them, it's just like intense, and it's like that scares you, especially because of everything that you've been through. I think in the past, you may have, the relationship that you did leave, or the cycles that you did leave, were very emotionally intense, but they were intense because they were very like toxic and trauma bond, like they were made to be intense so that you would bond with this person. Like, this person put you through intense psychological sort of harm and intense like upheaval, and you had these huge like dramatic changes in mood and like stability, and that kept you hooked to that. Like, you kind of got addicted to that, and you're worried that you're repeating that same thing, repeating those same cycles, getting sucked back into something similar. But what I can see here is like, this is not that. This is very aligned. This is very much so healthy. This is very much so somebody who wants to build with you and wants to have a reciprocal, balanced relationship with you, who wants to love you the way they believe you deserve to be loved, and they believe you deserve all the happiness in the world. Very simple, very plain and simple. Very plain and simple. Yeah, this is somebody who's coming in. This is so funny. This is somebody, so as I was shuffling, I got immediately the Hermit came out. You may be in a hermit mode right now. And then the Death card. This is somebody who came in to end your season of loneliness. And you may be thinking to yourself, like, I haven't even been alone for very long. I haven't even been single for very long. Like, I'm getting that so heavily. Like, you're like, this happened really fast. Like, last time I was single for X amount of time. Like, it takes this amount of time to get over somebody. But you're like, I'm getting that you're not really like hung up on somebody. You're kind of moving through the addiction part of it, like the addiction to the highs and lows, and you're trying to find your center and like really committed to your peace nowadays. But you're not really hung up on the person themselves, and you're kind of keeping to yourself, just minding your business, you know, going about being very serious and going about your healing journey. And this is somebody who's coming in to put an end to that. They're like, you're perfect exactly as is. Like, you don't need to do any more healing. Like, I'm here, I'm gonna take care of you. Like, you are my queen, you are my empress. Stop overthinking it. Literally at the bottom of the deck, I literally had the 9 of Swords and the Empress. So it's like, yeah, stop overthinking this. Like, this is how this person sees you, and this is your actual energy. Like, you're thinking that you're in some like sort of like page energy, like you're just beginning, and like you've actually been, even regardless of whether you were in your relationship or not, you've actually been in hermit mode for a long time. I'm hearing like within this other situation, within this other relationship, you were in hermit mode and you just didn't realize it. You were having your dark night of the soul, you were having your healing moments, you were in your healing arc, and just not realizing it. You weren't cognitive of it because of the intensity of the connection itself and the sort of emotions that it invoked in you. But you were healing the entire time, and that you actually healed enough, and that's why you were able to actually leave and remove yourself from these circumstances. And now you're like focused and thinking like, man, I gotta heal, I gotta fix myself, like perpetually healing. And this person's coming in to be like, no, boo, no, boo boo, you are overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. This is your energy. This is how I see you, because this is your energy. This is your energy, and I want to nurture that. I want to take care of that. I want to be your emperor. I want to protect that. Like, whoever this is giving a very, very protective energy. Like, they want to protect not only like your physical being, but they want to protect your peace. They want to protect your soul. They want to protect your heart. Like, I'm getting, like, they're holding your heart. Like, that's what they want. And they're like, you're overthinking this, honey. Stop overthinking this. Like, you don't need to be in your head. Like, I'm not confused. You shouldn't be confused. This is who you are. This is your energy. I see you clearly. I see you more clearly than you see yourself, is the energy that I'm getting from this person. Yeah, they're very emotionally mature. Whoever this is very emotionally mature. And I'm getting like a very, like, again, protective but patient energy. All right. Any closing remarks as we close this reading? Any closing remarks for what they are coming towards them? What's coming? What are they aligning with in 2026? Any closing remarks? Okay. Yeah. You're coming into a season where you're not going to have to work so hard to achieve that emotional balance. Like, you're coming into a season where whoever this is going to take care of your mental, emotional state, and they're not gonna have you fucking fighting for your life in chaos. That is not what they want. That is not who they are. And you may think like you're kind of in a space right now where I think you're waiting to be emotionally put together, where you're waiting to feel emotionally full. And this person is going to come in and be like, no, you are perfect. You're not broken. There's no pieces missing. If you want to discover more pieces, by all means. If you want to add more, by all means. But there's no pieces missing. You are perfect the way you are. Stop trying to mess with perfection. Yeah. Anyway, pile 3, that was your reading. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like it, please drop a like. If you want to drop a comment as well, that's always appreciated. If you're wanting to book a personal reading, that will be linked in the description below, as well as my other social media as well. I will be hard launching my tarot journey on TikTok on January 1st. So yeah, if you're interested in following me there or anything like that, great. I appreciate it. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'll see you next time.